Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you very much for joining me. We're going to be looking at a few things this afternoon. I've got two articles for us to have a look at. One is in regards to the Fed rate cut. The other is in regards to the gold price and why we're seeing so much movement nowadays. So we're going to be looking at that. We've got the charts in front of us here as well. So we're going to be looking at the current prices of the precious metals. And then, of course, towards the end, we'll be looking at the crypto. So we'll see exactly how things are getting on. So first of all, let's just take a look, and straight away we've got Mellow Stacker, we got Stephen Heath, we got World Stalker. How you doing? I hope you guys are all well out there. It's interesting to see again we've got silver on edging higher, not by much though. Still, it's in the green. You got to take advantage of, so you got to celebrate those little small gains that we have when it comes to the price of silver. So we're currently 7 cents up. Silver's currently priced at $15 and about 9 cents currently. And we can see here we've had this awesome wick that went all the way up to about 15.12. I suspect it's in relation to the possible rate cut coming. So there could just be some buyers getting in a bit early, but we'll be taking a look at that in a moment. So let's take a look at the daily for silver, and then we'll be looking at gold. Just a special thanks, Silver Stalker. How'd you get on this afternoon? Stephen Heath, how are you? How's your day going? And we got Mellow Stacker here as well. Stacks and stuff. How are you doing? That's awesome. Okay, I've left my uptrend here in place. So it's currently obviously still hasn't come back into that zone. However, we are, as you can see on the daily, it's the second day that we're in the green. So we'll have to see how this ends, but 1509, not looking too bad. I guess we'll just have to wait for the interest rates news. And that will pretty much give us the direction. So it's either going to be a da-da-da up here or a da-da-da down there. So we'll have to wait and see for that one. Gold. How is gold performing? Not over 1400 yet. Similar candle to silver. If you have a look, it did breach 1400 just briefly. But then it's pulled back. So it's back under it, about $1,397 an ounce. Still relatively bullish in regards to the way the chart looks. So we're going to be taking a look at that now. Still a very good looking chart for gold. Look at that. Yes, obviously there has been some profit taking. Everyone's back in. We've got one green candle, hopefully. Look at that. Went down as low as, cheap is about 1385. 1385. That's very interesting. Stephen E says, don't be positive about silver, Mr. Limey. You will upset people. Lordy mercy. Well, I was just stating the obvious. It's in the green for the second day. So, just take advantage of it. Mellow Stacker, silver is still on sale. There you go. Does APMEX deliver to Ireland? They probably do, but I don't use them because I'd be hit with import charge as well. I tried it once with Silver Gold Bull. I purchased a few things. From them, and unfortunately, I had to pay tax on top of that as well. So it didn't seem worthwhile. I normally get my stuff from Europe. That'll be Coinbase, Silver to Go, stuff like that. Those are the two sort of sites that I use. They're the best sort of priced, although some may differ. But again, it just it depends on where your relationship is and what bullion dealer you prefer to use. Obviously, Coinbase, I've been using them for a long time. They're the ones I use. Let's have a look. Okay, so gold is $1,397, and it's in the green currently. $2.40 in the green. Then we have a look at platinum. All right, so the platinum chart currently oversold. Looks like we'll probably try and pull up. You have a look at the if you have a look at the charts here. Whenever we've been oversold, we've always pulled back into this line, and then we've gone above it. So I wonder if we're going to be seeing this sort of move now. If you have a look back over here, is a perfect example. We were under it, and then we pulled back up, meaning that it was oversold. The buyers came in, pushed the price back up again, and then of course you've got sellers, profit takers, and then it sort of followed this line for a while before it went right up. So more than likely, I'll be expecting that. We're going to be seeing an uptrend forming as well as it gets back up above its moving averages. So for now, it's currently there, and then we're going to pull back up again. So probably around the 817. We'll probably try and move closer to the 820, but there is resistance there at $820 for platinum. Currently down $3.37. Urban silver stacking. Hey man, I decided not to quit my silver channel. Why would you do that anyway? Urban silver stacking. It's good to be back on YouTube, man. Don't go anywhere. Hello, stacks and stuff. Silver is silver to do is my go-to site. Oh, silver to go. Sorry, you misspelled that there, Stephen Heath. Sorry, silver to go is my go-to site. There you go. So that's where Stephen Heath gets his silver from, is silver to go. Just have fun, Urban. Here we go. I mean, don't get me wrong, guys. I think we're all adults here, so we decide what we want to do with our money, and no one's ever going to tell me any different. I mean, the best thing to do is do your research, know what you're getting into. If you're keen in getting into it, then do it. If you're not keen at all, then don't do it. Simple as that. Okay, let's look at Palladium. We've got Palladium, $1,545. So let's go and take a look at that on the daily. As you can see, it kind of looks like it's curving down now. So I wonder if we'll be seeing some profit taking. So let's take a look at the daily. Now, initially we were about here, and I said in a previous video, have we reached the peak above here, and will we start seeing a pullback? And that's exactly what's happened. We're seeing a pullback. Initially, we're not that far from the top, so we're going to see what we'll probably see is a pullback to a degree, get some profit taking, and then consolidate out, and then another push to try and get above that level. But Palladium's been on a great run here, pretty much since June, all the way up. So fair play. Let's have a look. We've got Urban Silver stacking, stack XRP, guys. Yeah, I tell you what, I've been a bit disappointed with XRP personally, Urban Silver. There's so many channels out there that are pumping it, man, and it's really getting to me, because it's always like, yeah, no, it's coming. It's kind of weird. It's probably, you could do your comparisons with silver as well. There's so many. Well, there are silver channels out there, all I wouldn't say doing the same thing, but similar things to it. And then you've got these XRP crypto guys out there constantly pumping it, and then you get excited. You're like, yeah, it's coming, and then it goes up, and then it goes down. And then they always have this term that XRP is the slowest to react. So as the market starts lifting up, it takes a while for XRP to go up. Okay, and then the moment it goes up, and then what happens with all the other assets? But the moment there's a sell-off, what happens to XRP? Now they said it's slow to react. So what happens with XRP? It's not what you think. It doesn't go up. It immediately goes down. So just as you're about to get a run up, the flipping things get sold off. It just it's XRP is like a frustration. It's a frustration asset. We've got frustration assets. Silver and XRP. These are the things we live with. We either live with the consequences of that, or we get out. Simple as that. You can either like it or dislike it. I'm keeping an eye. My wife said apparently there's a delivery coming at some point, so I was like, yeah, great. It's like here we go. Anyway, sorry. Urban Silverstack says XRP to the effing moon. I couldn't agree with you more. I certainly hope that is the case. Silver Steeler says, hi, Urban, good to see you. Urban Silver Stacking. We've got saying hello to Silver Steeler. Urban Silver Stacking says Stella. Urban Silver Stacking says Dogecoin, which I've got no interest in. I don't really know much about Dogecoin, Urban Silver Stacking. Well, then we've got Stacks and Stuff laughing. And then Sheffield EPNS Stephen Heath says, yes, buy what you like. Take no notice of the haters. Lordy mercy. And then Will Stalker says, do you buy and sell daily, Limey, or sitting on them? You know, I realized the frustration, Will Stalker, was when we had that just recent run. And I was like, yeah, now it's all happening. It's all happening. And I basically forgot that we were so overbought that there was going to be a pullback, and I'd lost sight of that because I was just watching this run, and unfortunately I missed the flip and sell, and then there was a big sell off on Bitcoin, and then I was like, and then I saw it go back up again, so I was like, okay, you know, that's one of the worst things is when you look at any chart, you'll see that big drop and then a buy and then it drops again because more than likely those were late orders through the system. So what you do is you get the red and then followed by green and then bang, straight back down again. And I was really frustrated with myself for missing that opportunity because I could have sold my XRP, I could have sold my Litecoin, I could have sold my Ethereum, I could have sold my Bitcoin and made a decent profit. I think I had probably about an ounce of gold profit just in those assets alone. And I didn't do it. And then I realized that I will never make that mistake again. So I'm trying to watch the charts to see, and I had the same thing happen to Ethereum. That is this one here. I'll show you guys now. We were up here, and then what happens is your mind goes, you start to get a bit greedy, and you go, is it time to sell? You know, I bought in somewhere down here. I mean, I literally bought in about down here, 288. All of a sudden, you're up here. You're almost up $30, and you're like, you know, yeah, give it a bit more, give it a bit more. And what's happening is you've got these, they're trying to get through those resistance levels, and it's happening, and you don't take notice of that, and then bang. And then I was in the middle of this here, and I was like, well, now what? Because it went all the way down to 310, and I was like, should I sell? Should I sell? And then it went back up to 313, and I was like, okay, maybe that's okay. And not realizing that what is going to happen is you're going to get this pattern here. So if I'd actually sold, I could have sold and then bought in at a lower level, cashed in my profit, and then still had the assets. However, I would have been a few quid up. Sorry, divulge. Let's have a look. Urban Silverstack says, "Be patient, Limey. We've got to hold it. It's going to take a couple of years." I know, that's the thing. I'm very much an asset person on investment. I always look at investment. Always look at my assets as investments. And so far, the XRP is the worst performing asset currently in my crypto wallet. And it's just costing me money, just constantly holding the flipping thing. I wouldn't say it cost me money, but it's like it's where it is now. I mean, I'm not going to sell where it is now. It needs to go up a lot higher first. Not by much. I mean, I can sell. I'll be happy with what I got because I bought lower. But I'm just watching it. NGC Coins Live says precious metal and great channel from Morocco. Thanks very much, NG Coins. It's great to see you. Open Silver Stacking says it's used for micro transactions. Yeah, I mean, I'm very familiar with the technology. Don't get me wrong. I know what it on the XRP. I've mentioned it before many times to other people. It's amazing how many people do not know about crypto assets in this day and age. Like they're still like, I still go to my bank, or you know, they still trust their money that's in the bank rather than crypto assets. So it's interesting that the banks are the ones that started off polluting all our money back in 2008. You know, by just constantly printing money to solve their problems, and they just got used to it. You know, and that's the reason why Bitcoin came out of this whole thing, is because nobody really wanted to trust the banks because they just wrecked everything. And then they weren't able to fix it, so they've just got the wheels turning, currently doing what they're doing, not really knowing what they're doing. Yeah, interesting. We got Winning Image Photography. Hey, it says hi everybody, Stacks and Silver. We got Wolf Stoke says, does Coinbase charge for every transaction? Yeah, look, the transactions, there is a transaction cost, but it's far cheaper for you to transfer crypto or money through crypto than it is to you go to the bank and transfer it. Stephen Heath has a video out, everybody. I haven't checked it out, Stephen. I'm going to go and head over there the moment I finish up here. So he says, did you see my video, the 25 1-ounce Valiants? Great buy, buddy. Awesome, great buy. Urban Silver Stacking says every purchase there is a fee. Yeah, it tends to be quite small now, so just take notes. Silver Steeler says had to buy a new computer, so no disposable money for the next 4 to 6 weeks. But it will help out my channel, and I have the ability to stream. Awesome, good for you, Silver Steeler. We got Urban Silver Stacking says I'm only going to sell 10% of my XP when it hits $5, and I bought the majority of my XP at 38 cents. Awesome, buddy. I first got in about a year ago. I paid, I think it was about 39, it was just under 42 American cents. And then I've bought on the way down too. So I've bought as low as 25 cents. And then that's how I've just built up my stack, call it as such. Walter says, why should be my crypto? You should be my crypto broker, says Will Stalker. Someone already gave you a thumbs down. I guess they didn't like the gold chart. Oh, well, really, it's happened. It happens a lot with these charts, but you know, that's their prerogative. If they don't leave a comment, how am I supposed to learn? If there's something that they don't like, how am I supposed to learn from it? If you just put a thumbs down, it doesn't mean anything. Clinton S. Silver Limey 79. Hello, everyone. Hope you're having a great day. Sell silver yet? I will be selling silver essentially when I make more money than what I've paid for it. That's when I'm going to sell my silver. Silver Stealer, just saying hello to Clinton. Sucker for silver. Hey, Silver Limey, BTC dominance chart still looks bullish. It looks flipping awesome, and that's where I've made some good money on Bitcoin. I'm very happy with Bitcoin. I was just saying there, my only asset I'm languishing with is XRP. It's like one of those little and that's probably the reason why I diversify my spread. Because then at least if I had all my money in XRP, I'd be seriously unhappy. So if you've got money in other assets that are going up and then your XP is going down, it's the same thing with gold and silver. If you've got some silver but then have some gold, when the gold price goes up, at least it counterbalances. And even if Health Babe was there, she'll probably tell you the same thing. And I think she's even said that before. Her gold offsets her losses in silver. So, you know, with crypto, if you got a good spread of cryptocurrencies, you got one like Bitcoin going all the way up, that's where you're making your money on that. You may have a few others that aren't performing that great, but you know, let's just say they're in the green, and then let's say you've got one asset that's in the red. However, with those three assets that are in the green, it counterbalances, and then you end up in the green, in money, rather than just having all your money in one asset. Oh, excuse me. Stephen Eads says, "Welcome to the Crypto Limey 79 channel, folks." Urban Silver Stacking, save the best for last. XRP to the moon. Sucker for Silver says, moved all to BTC a while back. It's been worth it. I know what you mean. Sucker, I only got into Bitcoin last year. And I was just taking notes of these prices. And I said to my wife, because we sat down and I said, look, you know, we've got savings. And I suggested to her, I think we should put money in Bitcoin. And obviously I needed her to actually agree to it, because obviously it's half of hers money, half is her money and half is mine. And she said, yeah. So bang, straight away on the phone, bought my Bitcoin. Fantastic. I mean, you know how much it's gone up? It's gone up 50% since I bought it. I've made 50% return. If I'd bought 1 ounce of gold, and this is where crypto, the profits in crypto outstrip both gold, silver, platinum, and palladium, for that matter. I wouldn't say necessarily palladium, depending on when you bought palladium, though. However, it really has performed in my wallet, and I'm very happy with it. I'm trying ways to try and get some more because it is expensive. Let's have a look. Well, Stoger says, but what consistently goes up? What I mean is, well, obviously you'd have to do your own research. These are just my opinions, but Bitcoin is one I have. I wouldn't say I have a lot. I have a portion in Bitcoin, for obvious reasons, because A, it's the #1 crypto asset. It was the first crypto asset in 2008, and there's only 4 million or 3 million tokens left. After that, there's going to be no more. So for me, immediately I'm thinking, well, if there's going to be a shortage, what happens when there's a shortage? Everybody wants to buy it, and that is the truth with anything. The moment, like for instance, if there's a shortage of gold, you've immediately got a very high demand. What happens to the price of gold? It goes up, obviously, because more people are going to want it. There isn't a lot of supply, so immediately you're going to push the price up. What's going to happen with Bitcoin? Once the supply dries up, the price goes up. And it's the first asset ever in human existence that has a finite supply and will run out. I wouldn't say has a finite supply, but is definitely going to run out. So it's the reason why I've put money into it. I just think in the long run it's going to make a lot of sense. And then I bought Ethereum. And the reason why I bought Ethereum is when you look at the charts between Ethereum and Bitcoin, which is, I've got the charts here, so let's have a look. So there you go. That is Bitcoin. That is Ethereum. It's probably just because I have it in a different. Let me just see if I've got it in the same. That's on the 1 hour. Okay, and then the first thing you can see is you have it's a similar pattern to the way Bitcoin performs. You got these 3 bumps there, and that's what you have there. 1, 2, 3 there. And then on the way down too is you've also got these down, and then you got it up there, which is exactly what we have. We got down and then up there. So Ethereum tends to follow Bitcoin, and it was the second asset which came out. Sorry, just let me know if I'm droning on a bit too much, because I'll gladly move on. But the reason why I've got money in Ethereum is that what happens when Bitcoin runs out? Then the second token, which is Ethereum, there's only 106 million of those. Now, obviously, but the price is going to, if it follows Bitcoin in regards to its pattern, that means we're going to expect to see a higher Ethereum price once Bitcoin starts taking off in regards to prices. So that's the reason why I've got Ethereum. You know, whether I'll be keeping it for the next 6 months or year or 2 years, I'm definitely going to see a nice return on this. Ethereum's all-time high was $1,400 back in January 2018. So $1,400 was its all-time high, and it's only 310. So I'm pretty sure it's going to go back there. So I'm pretty confident that it's going to make it. Right, just going to get back here. Stephen Heath. Right, okay, so we've got must come down. Okay, it says the doorbell. That was my phone. Thanks, Clinton. Silvertina says, yes, Clinton, I are trying to figure that chime out from Limey. Urban Silver Stacking says, crypto returns are astronomical compared to metals. Absolutely. We both know it's Mrs. Limey's money. I saw that with the giggles there, man. I thought, you know, Stephen, you're constantly chirping away. Love it, man. Hey, everyone. Sorry, I didn't say goodbye the other day. My phone died. So Stephen says, hi, hi, 3. Good seeing you. 3 subscribers on the video. Sorry, how are you doing? Silver says, hey, Urban, good luck with the XRP. The alts may have their day again. Everyone's praying for this sort of alt season. I don't know. Bitcoin's still the champion at the minute. We're going to take a look at the crypto currency chart in a minute. So what we have is we got Will Stalker. Isn't there less XRP? No, XRP is pre-mined. XRP is pre-mined, so there's 42 billion XRP. Now, the main reason why they've made so many is because it's been used for cross-border transactions. That's the reason why they've made so many of them. So, I mean, but again, you've got to think hypothetically, it's going to be more about the token's utility. I know you're thinking 42 billion. Geez, that sounds like a lot. However, they're pushing the utility factor of it being used. So once the utilization of the asset is in place, then the price will start to go up. That's the reason why Urban Silverstack says yeah, it could be a couple of years away. So the more companies they connect with, and the more rollout they can get people using XRapid, which is their software that uses XRP, then we can start to see an uptake in volume. Then with a higher volume, then comes a higher price. So we're all waiting for that one. Urban Silver Stacking says, keep stacking. Later, guys. Cheers, Urban Silver Stacking. XRP will be one like Neo from the Matrix. And Clinton S says, then something new will come out. Silver Lining 79. And once Bitcoin is bought up, then something newer and better will be a big thing. Well, again, what they're doing with Ethereum is that they're trying to increase the scalability of the token. So that's another thing I'm thinking about long term, is once they've sorted the scalability, whoop, I'm very bullish in regards to where Ethereum is going to perform soon. So that's the reason why I have money in it. But you bring up a good point, and that's why I've gone for the second, or the first altcoin. However, second in market cap is Ethereum. So that's the reason why I've also invested in that. World Stalker just saying goodbye there. Winning image photography. 3 subscribers without any videos. Bitcoin miners went from 14 and a half. Sorry, I'm just pointing out. 50 THSs rendering the old unit almost useless in terms of profit. Just clarify that if you don't mind. Is it terahertz? Stephen E says, yes, you are going on a bit much, so some bloody cryptos. It's kind of unsustainable. Power companies are real. Oh, I see what you mean by power consumption. Yes. You see, some crypto assets use a lot of power, like Bitcoin, for instance. It's old technology. However, you need a lot of power for it. So it's not very efficient. So, however, there are other cryptocurrencies that are more efficient, like XRP, which is also cheaper to transact. The reason Bitcoin didn't go below 3,000 is because people wouldn't sell at that, as they paid more to mine it. That is correct. So that is effectively the bottom is 3K for Bitcoin. Will Sorg says, is buying and seeing daily on and ups worth the time, especially with Coinbase transaction fees? I don't use Coinbase. I use a company that is in the UK. I just use Coinbase as my intermediary because there's a lot of companies there that are out there that require Coinbase. That's their exchange that they prefer. So I've got Coinbase on the side, but I don't use Coinbase as my main. It's not my main hub. Silver Steel says, I need solar panels. Dang electric companies raising rates. Problem is solar panels contain silver, and I don't see myself removing the silver. That is correct. Silver is a good conductor of electricity, so they use it in solar panels. 3 subscribers without any videos. Terahashes, yes. Sorry, I was wondering what you meant by that. Terahertz, terahashes. Also platinum. There's also platinum then too. Yeah, there's some great precious metals in solar panels. Let's take another look. Okay, so we'll leave the crypto market behind us, and then we're going to go back to silver, and then we're going to read. Okay, so what we got here is we got Fed's Harker sees no immediate need for a US interest rate cut. So obviously he's saying there's no need for it, which is going to impact. It could impact precious metals if they do not cut rates. Which means we're probably going to see a lower lows. I wouldn't say lower lows, but we will see a downtrend if this is the case. So we got this is only a short article. It says Federal Reserve Bank of Philadelphia President Patrick Harker said he does not currently see an immediate need to change interest rates, according to Wall Street Journal. There's no immediate need to move rates in either direction at this point, in my view. The newspaper quoted Harker as saying in an interview on Monday, reiterating his views from the earlier this year. Harker, who does not vote on the Fed's rate setting committee this year, but participates in its deliberations, said rate cuts would be warranted if the US economy was weakening substantially. I guess he's probably, I don't know what plans he's on, but if that's his thoughts, okay. But that does not, but that he does not see that happening currently. So he doesn't see a weakening the economy currently. Okay. However, there's lots of statistics out there in regards to what is going on, but he's obviously reading a different book. I'm not saying it's really, really weak, but I mean, it's you know, if that's what they're considering as interest rate cuts, then there's a particular reason why they're looking at interest rate cuts. Anyways, and then we've got this one here. This is the shiner. It says why gold prices are seeing the wildest price swings in over 2 years. Let's have a look. I'll be back in time to eat a burger. Well, that sounds like a good plan. Will you get me one as well? Maybe a Wendy's or something like that. Do people do day trading on Coinbase? I suspect they probably do, Will Stalker. However, obviously, it depends on the volume. You'll probably find that a lot of the people that do trading on Coinbase have a fair amount of money, so it's not they can buy like 3 or 4 Bitcoins, and that's how they'll make their money, and that's how they'll take the small gains. However, if you've only got 1 Bitcoin and you're trying to trade that, it's difficult. You've really got to wait in there to try and maximize the return to ensure that that'll offset any potential fees, but the fees aren't really on a lot of money, but in comparison. So you've got to wait in there, whereas you'll have guys, for instance, like buying a lot here. I'll show you one in a minute. I got into an initial exchange offering with one company, so I'll show you exactly what I mean. Just remind me later. Okay, so what we have is this is posted on the 9th, which says a 1 minute red, but obviously that was just before I put it on. The gold market is seeing the biggest price swing since late 2016 as traders, investors struggle to read when the Federal Reserve may cut rates, or if they may cut rates this month. Bullion futures settled little changed in New York Monday, just days after the metal surged near the highest since 2013 on bets the Fed will be lowering borrowing costs on either end of this month or later. The appetite for gold began to wane after data on Friday showed that U.S. payroll topped economists' estimates, weakening the case for policymakers to reduce rates. Now, we went through that a couple of episodes ago when that news came out, and that was the reason why we had that dump in the precious metal. So it's interesting that he's obviously reflecting that. And he says, until Friday, the gold has been in a tear since Fed officials last month opened door to rate cuts, boosting the appeal of the metal that doesn't pay interest. While the latest jobs data fueled doubts policymakers will reduce borrowing costs this month, President Donald Trump continued to apply pressure on the Fed chair to do just that, saying that the current monetary policy has put the US at a disadvantage versus Europe. Powell and James Bullard, who was the only dissenting vote in favor of a rate cut in the Fed meeting in June, are scheduled to address events this week, potentially providing some clue on the policymaker's next move. Between Friday's job report and waiting to hear what he has to say tomorrow, gold is kind of in a no man's land. That's interesting. So, it's sort of kind of at the mercy of the traders currently in the minute now and that's what I said at the beginning of this video. We're probably going to be waiting until we hear about that Fed rate decision before we're going to see any remarkable or any major changes. So more than likely, I just see consolidation. Probably it's just going to trade in this sort of range here. You're probably looking at between 1420 and 1383 until we get some sort of idea if those rates are coming or not. And likewise with silver, if we have a look at the silver chart, again, that's probably going to be about the same here. If we have a look, we're probably going to be in probably a little tighter range. What's that? That is down 1491 to 1513. That's probably where we're going to be until we get some direction. However, if we look at if the news is negative, then more than likely we're going to be coming down. It's going to be a ride. However, we do have support here in this area. 1497, we do have some great support, but more than likely it's going to break through that. And then we've got support here about 1478, 1480. That's my indication in regards to what the support levels are going to be if the Fed doesn't cut rates. Let's have a look here. Just going to go through what's trading. Wow, I see gold on blended. I see gold on blended whiskey. I threw some support on the channel. Cool. So if I wanted to get Bitcoin, what is the lowest I could buy in? The current price, Clinton. The current price is just know that when you're buying cryptocurrency, there are no premiums. You've literally just got there's wow, okay, that's going up. Look at that candle. Wow, it's going up. That means Ethereum's going up as well then. So if you look at Ethereum, there it is. It's moving. Bitcoin, it's on its way up. $284 up. 12,578. Look at that strong candle. We might see a bit of an adjustment. We might just see a wick. We're going to see. Well, I'm sure we should probably see a wick. Okay, we may come to that. So look, currently it's moving up. However, if you bought down here, it would be 12,385. So if you bought again, when you're looking at buying crypto, you don't have to buy a full unit. So don't think like, geez, yeah, it's 12 grand, 12.5 grand to buy one Bitcoin. You can buy a tenth of a Bitcoin. You can buy a fifth of a Bitcoin. You can buy a hundredth of a Bitcoin. You can literally, it's all fractional. Gets broken. So one Bitcoin gets broken down into satoshis, which is its sub unit, sub 1 unit. So there you go. There's the wick. So it's up to you how much you want to buy. You don't have to buy a full one. Let's have a look. Right, my dinner is ready. Silver Limey 79. Plus, I'm going to stroke my silver and gold. I'm going to check that video out, man. Those Valiants are beautiful. Really great, great piece. I'm going to be doing a review on one soon, so watch out for that. Sucker for Silver says, sure, Clinton, you can buy tiny fractions of it. There you go. I know, yeah. I'm just we're gonna keep a close eye on it. I don't think it's quite there yet. We've got to get through this level here first. It's about the 12.7. If we can break through that 12.7, it's going to look good all the way up here. And then we just need to get over this little hump here. Doorbell. Doorbell again. Answer the door. Sucker for Silver says, hey, ASL looks like a good run. Do you have to keep it for an extended period of time? Sorry for the questions. You can keep it as long as you like, Clinton. It's up to you when you want to cash it in. Just make sure you understand the charts, though. So don't buy when it's on the high. Wait for it to retrace and then buy in. Always buy low. Sell high and buy low. So no matter what you're looking at, just make sure you're not just going to jump in now. Because if you jump in now, yes, it might go up, but it also may pull back. So you're better off waiting for that adjustment for it to pull back first. And then when you buy in, it's more than likely going to go higher. And that's where you'll benefit from. Because otherwise, if you buy in now, there's probably a good chance this is probably going to pull back a little bit more before probably consolidating out, and then it'll start making its way up again. So look, Graham Stack is saying hello to everybody. Yes, and looks like bull run again. Cool. Okay. Right. So silver. Yeah. So more than likely, we're going to see it pretty much consolidate out until we hear about what the Fed is going to be doing. So the range is, what did I say, 15.11, 15.12, and 14.90. That's pretty much the range until we get an idea. And if it breaks down, the first key resistance is support is 14.97. More than likely, it'll be a heavy break, and it's probably going to be down here, 14.75. However, if it's the positive, we'll see quite a substantial move up. We might see it even retest the 15.50 level. It'll be quite a strong push up if it is what it is. Keep an eye on that one. Platinum. Let's take a look at platinum. So we got platinum here. Lots of wicks on those. Look at that chart. It's like somebody made an oil painting, and then you've just like smeared it all up, and then of course it's just like slowly working its way down. It's like it was too much. Platinum currently priced at $811.55. It's currently $1.95 down. Indeed, it was a good day. I'm very happy in regards to the way the Bitcoin has performed currently at the minute. So initially it was down in the dumps. I'm gonna say down in the dumps. Just wasn't a lack of movements. I just saw too much red. Too much red. So what we got a bit of a green candle. We're still on the overbought cycle, so more than likely we're going to be working our way back into the middle of this zone here. So we could be going up to about 814. However, there's quite a bit of selling pressure on that 807. But again, more than likely, the Fed Reserve will probably give us the sort of angle we're looking for in regards to higher prices there. However, look again, whenever we've been under that, we've always pulled back up. Same thing here. Whenever we've been under, we pulled back up. The same thing happened here. We were under, pulled ourselves back up. We sold off again, and more than likely, we're going to see where this. What if it's going to curve, and then we're going to move back up again. But we're not really much strong buying at the minute. Waiting for the Fed decision, and then Palladium. Let's look at Palladium. Well, Palladium is something else. We're seeing a pullback way above moving averages, so we're overbought. So that's the reason why we're seeing a pullback. However, the buyers are still there. You can see there the wick is there. Kind of Palladium's sort of doing its own thing at the minute. What do you guys think of Palladium? Do you guys think it's going to move up? Clintonet says, I've got a gram of platinum. Woohoo, I can retire. You never know. I tell you what, when gold hits 3,000, how much is platinum going to be worth? I bet you that gram would be worth a fair bit of cash. Wait, I'm starving. I'm a starving artist. I need to work before I retire. I remember that from the movie Trading Places. Sell high, buy low. There you go. There's a fair amount of documentaries out there in regards to financial. There's that movie The Big Short. I'd recommend anybody to watch. If anyone's watched Wall Street, I know probably one of those iconic movies back in the 80s. And then there was Wall Street, Money Never Sleeps. I really enjoyed that. And they were talking about the 2008 financial crisis, and I thought it was so, having all those bankers in that meeting with the Fed talking about this and that. It was hilarious. If that would have been the actual chat. So Wilson says, so Bitcoin will drop a little tomorrow. Well, the problem is it really is on a nice pull. It had a fairly big drop today. If you look at Bitcoin here, it was 12,690, and then it dropped a bit. So we had the first one down, and then more than likely these were the late buys, and then back down again. So it dropped all the way down to 12,124. So it's difficult to say where this is going to go because we're on such an uptrend. I mean, this is the 8th of July. This is only yesterday. I mean, look at where we've come from here. We've gone up from 11,458. We've gone up practically $1,000 in one day. That's an ounce of gold, just under an ounce of gold, just in that one day. It's crazy, that sort of return. And how much of a return would you have got on gold? And let's take a look. In one day, what would you have made in one day? Well, it depends on when you would have bought. So let's just say the open was 1,394, which means you would have made a whopping $1.60. And however, if you'd taken it all the way up to the high and then sold at the high, so if you'd taken your 1 ounce of gold and you'd sold at the high of 1,400, and let's say yesterday's day ended on you would have made $6. You would have made $6 in one day. If we look at silver, how much would you have made in silver? Well, silver's had 2 green candles for the last 2 days. So let's take a look through. So it opened at $15.02, and the high was $15.12. So if you'd taken your ounce, or let's just say your appropriate ounces, let's say if you had an ounce of gold, an ounce of silver, you would have made 10 cents on the melt price. Trading Places, I remember Jamie Lee Curtis. Yep, I remember that too. Silver Stealer. Sucker for Silver says, you could forget it, Silver Stealer. Did anyone see that movie, A Fish Called Wanda? And she's in that with Kevin Kline and John Cleese. What a hilarious movie. The Fish Called Wanda. Yeah, so there you go. Okay, well, I mean, it's difficult to do a comparison, but if you had 1 ounce of silver, you would have made 10 cents. If you had an ounce of gold, you would have made $6. If you had an ounce of platinum, you would have made $2 on the high. If you had an ounce of palladium, you would have. Let's see. The high for the day was 1560, which means that it opened. You would have effectively made $1. And then if you'd bought one Bitcoin token, you would have made $1,000. Let's have a look at Ethereum, see how we're getting on there. So it's 1310. So it's up $3 from there. Okay, super. Let's just look at the crypto markets overall. Anyone got any questions? Yeah, lol, I haven't. She was beautiful. Yeah, she was flipping stunning back in. Well, I mean, I suppose she still is now. Who would forget her? Right, cryptocurrencies. Well, current market cap's definitely up. $344 billion dollars, and then 24-hour volume is 83.498 billion. Bitcoin dominance is creeping up though, so we're up to 63.7. Bitcoin dominance meaning that 63.7% of the cryptocurrency market is Bitcoin. Bitcoin currently up 3.89%. Price here on CoinMarketCap 12,328. Ethereum currently in second place, obviously with the second highest market cap, $311 per token, and it's up 1.3%. XRP down 0.05% to 39 cents, nearly 40 cents a token. Litecoin in fourth place, down 0.12% to $120 per token. Not really moving at the minute, but that's because there's a halving coming up. Basically means that they're halving the supply of Litecoin, which will be available for miners. So that's probably just waiting for direction. Or probably after the halving, we'll probably see an increase in the price because there's effectively half the supply available. Bitcoin Cash in fifth place, $418. I don't hold any of those. That's currently up 1.29%. Right, let's just go through. I really want to play with $500 in crypto this week. See what I can do. My XRP is down. If anything. So you're actually in cryptocurrency at the minute, is it, Will Stalker? Coin Paradise. Hey, Coin Paradise, how are you doing? If I had Will Stalker, I can only go on my own feelings, but if I had $500, I would be putting it into Ethereum. Again, just waiting for that. Depending on how long you want to keep your money for, or how long I would want to. But if I had $500 I was putting in and I wanted to play a bit, that's probably the token I'd put it into. Other than that, there's not really much movement. Otherwise, Bitcoin. Maybe buy some fractional Bitcoin. Let's have a look. I really want to play with. Yeah, there you go. Coin Paradise says I barely am. Just XRP and Stellar. Yeah, of course you got some Stellar tokens. Well, does anyone else have anything to talk about? While I'm here, so we've pretty much wrapped everything up. So it's chit chat time. The first 47 minutes in. If I bought Ethereum yesterday, I would have made $75 today. There you go. Yeah, essentially, if I looked at it at the Ethereum chart here, I was super happy when I saw this. And when I had a look at the news, there was nothing there to indicate it. It was just time for Ethereum to move up. And I guess if you see these green flags here popping up, constantly testing, and then going whoop straight up there, that just put a smile on my face because we were languishing in this area here. And effectively, initially I was going to sell. I had a sell order ready at $300. I wanted to walk over some profit. and I held back, and then it was looked like it was going that way, and then this green candle over here happened, and it popped it up, and I was like, oh, okay, well, let's see how this goes. And then we had this movement, and then we had that movement, and then we had this one, and then we had that, and I was like, okay, this is interesting. I mean, what do you think about getting a tube of the Algaries or Oakleys and sending them? Wow, man, that would be fantastic. If half get MS70, it'll be huge profits. Well, man, I tell you what, if you've got that sort of income lying around, I would probably do the same. If I had that opportunity, get a nice tube. I wonder how much those Algaries are going to be, though. That's my thing. So obviously they've caught on in regards to how much the Germanias are worth. I reckon those Algaries are going to be worth what? $25? Do you reckon those Algaries are going to be worth $25? Stupid says we tried to use some humor in my last mail call vid for stacking Stormtrooper. We copied his cards and accidentally tore one or two while shooting the vid. Okay, we tried to use some humor in the last mail call vid for stacking Stormtrooper. We copied his cards and accidentally tore one. Are you a member of NGC? Who's that? Me? I'm not a member of NGC. Will Stalker says, I'm thinking about $30. That's what I had in my head, actually, Will Stalker, but I was like, I could be wrong. 25 probably sounds good as a first release. So Vasita says he hasn't seen it yet. His real cards are safe. Have you guys seen the stuff from the Germanium Mint that are coming out? So let's take a look at the Germanium Mint now that we're actually finished here. Germanium Mint. I'm going to be doing a separate video on something, but let's take a look through. Right, let's look. Issue plan. Looks like they've updated the images. Check this warrior out now. Check that on the screen there. This is the Warrior series, the Berserker. Apparently, this is going to be a high relief, and it looks antiqued. It looks absolutely stunning. The detail there. Have you seen? He's got 4 eyes. Wow. It's got that wolf head, and it's got this sort of gold gilding on it as well. It looks fabulous. Nice antique finish. Germania 2019. Fantastic. Got to get some of those Germanias ASAP. This is only coming out in August. It's the Algaries first, and then you've got this magnificent piece. 2 ounce, 4 nines fine, 10 mark. Let's have a look. Winning image photography says accidentally. His real cards are safe. Woodstock says, yeah, problem is I have no idea how to get them all graded since I'm traveling. You can go on their website as far as I know. And then you just pay a fee. I think it's $20 or $25, depending on what you want. Silver Steve says, I saw some of those limey at AppMex. Older ones, wow, expensive, very beautiful. Silver Steve says, thanks, Graham. It was fun to do. Do they have a proof finish? I'm not really sure on this one, Graham, but I doubt it's going to be it because it's antiqued. It's probably not going to be a proof one of these. But they are doing one on the oak leaf. Do you have any info on it? These are going to be a good series. I haven't got anything yet. I do have a video though that I managed to get my hands on. So that's for a separate stream. So we'll be focusing on the Germania series. But let's just have a look at the issue plan here. Do you guys know that apparently Germania Mint's going to be in the US? There's the World Coin Fair in Chicago, and they're actually coming over there. So if anyone's in Chicago, go and check that out. If you look at their main website, if you go to germaniamint.com, you can go on there and you can actually check out. There's a banner that runs across the top of the screen, but I'll show you where it is now. Right, so what we have here, we have an oak leaf 2019 gold proof. Only 100 of those. That's coming in September. Gorgeous. Then we've got the silver oak leaf. There's only 1,000 of those. I'm going to try and bag one of them if I can. That's the 5 mark, so that'll be 1 ounce. Then there's the BU. So there's the proof. Then there's the brilliant uncirculated gold piece of 500. Then there's the regular BU oak leaf, which is 50,000. That's coming out in August. Then we've got the Berserker in August, 499 pieces, the 2 ounce high relief, 10 ounce mark. Then you can obviously see they've updated the imaging here. So that looks like, if you look at the Germania piece itself, it looks like it's going to have a similar finish here in regards to the way the ladies are done. And then they've obviously updated the crest there on the back. So that's brilliant uncirculated, 25,000 pieces. Then we got the Algaries 2 ounce, 2,500 pieces, 10 mark. And then we've got the 25 mark 495 silver 5 ounce, which I have to get one of these. I really do. And then we've also got the gold. Obviously, that's sold out. But and then we wait for the new releases after that. So it's going to be a gorgeous set. So if we go back to the Germania Rent site, so you'll see it up here. There's the banner. There we go. Chicago World's Fair of Money. They're going to be there in August, between the 13th and the 17th. And was it Rosemont? It's the American Numismatic Association. So that's where they're going to be. So if anyone's in Chicago, definitely head out there. And definitely be worthwhile putting a video on YouTube if anyone's going to be in Chicago. Let's have a look. That was great video, Silver Stealer. Let's have a look. Yeah, problem is I have no idea how to get them graded. I saw some of those beautiful AppMex ones. Thanks, Graham. It was fun to do. I'm Stacker. Do you have a proof finish? Do you have any info on if these are going to be a series? Are you talking about the Berserker? Because more than likely the Berserker will be a series, because I think if you look at the Warrior series, it talks about the various warriors, if I'm not mistaken. Let's have a look here. So the Germania warriors are characterized by the above average strength which surpass their enemies. They are faithful in their innate savagery and belligerent instincts, choosing dark knights and the crudest weapons. Let's have a look. The German warriors are a fierce reputation, considered almost barbaric on the battlefield. It is well deserved, honest, and a bit of war tactics. Okay, they might have updated this, but there was a mention of exactly what they were doing with these, and I think they were bringing out the various warriors in regards to the Germanic armies. It's a pity that they've mentioned it, but I guess they maybe they want to try and keep it a surprise. But lovely. It's going to be a good one. Yes, 5 ounces a must. You're absolutely right. Hello all. Hey, Coin Collector. How are you doing? Well, Talker says, will Oak Leafs or Algaries be a series? I don't know. The Algaries, I don't think they'll. I mean, if there's not really much they can do really. Where are we? Okay, Algaries. It's just 2 ladies on a coin. There's effectively the personifications of Germania and Britannia. So I doubt they'll be changing anything on that. So they might just bring out a 20 coin and so on and have it from there. I doubt it'll be any form of series as such. No news on that either, Will Stalker. You know as much as I do. Well, the Oak Leafs or the Algaries, the Oak Leafs as well, the mites. Maybe they've got a different kind of tree or something like that they consider in ancient times to have been important. So maybe they'll bring out that. I've got no idea. Yeah, but the Britannias are a series. Well, then more than likely, if sorry, I thought you meant from a series design, like if it would be a series of the Algaries and then they'd be doing something else but with a similar design. Sorry, I misunderstood you. Yeah, so I mean, it's got to be personally. It'd be interesting to see if they change the images on here, like have it from a different angle, maybe. I'll be looking forward to that. I think that'll be pretty cool. But anyway, we're going to save this for another time because I want to do. I've got the video for that. I'm not going to show you yet, but I've got the video for that Berserker. That looks fantastic. Silver Stealer, got to eat. Peace. All. I'm out. Good stream, Limey. I hit the like button. Thanks very much, Silver Stealer. Good to see you. Take care and have a. Got to eat. Man's got to eat. Thanks for watching. Right, silver 1507 currently. Okay, so we are still looking pretty good. Up 6 cents. We've got gold. $1,396 an ounce, up $1.57. Platinum. It's currently up 5 cents. That's obviously currently as the price of right now. That is $810.98. Palladium, well, that's down almost $15. It's nearly 1%. It's understandable. We're going to see some profit taking, but I wonder if we'll sort of at this point here, next candle, either slightly up or consolidate out and then push up again. But palladium doesn't seem to be following the other patterns of gold, platinum, silver, so it's sort of doing its own thing right now. But I suspect that at the Fed rates news could have an impact on that, so it's a matter of just waiting. Let's look at Bitcoin. So Bitcoin at the minute is $12,573. Nice green candle forming there. Ethereum at 310. This looks like an interesting article. It says the cons outweigh the pros, says financial expert. I think that's something we're definitely going to check out. Let's check this article out. Stop loss triggers. The cons outweigh the pros, say financial expert on Bitcoin. A recent article published in Mikey.com has revealed that Peter Switzer, an award-winning journalist and financial expert, he called for Bitcoin and its imitators to be banned. Wow, look at that. According to the Switzer Group financial founder, cryptocurrencies are far too volatile. I disagree. Some, yes. But again, that's the same as silver. I mean, if you look at silver, silver's quite volatile. So Switzer was quoting as saying, I can't see the necessity of a currency that is too volatile and it is primarily used for speculative. Wow. Talk about uneducated. Like, who is this guy? I gotta check this guy out. Clearly his mindset is not in the right frame of mind. I mean, you've got the president of the IMF considering a positive step in regards to cryptocurrencies, who is about to become the about the president of the the European Central Bank. Who the hell is this guy? I think cryptocurrencies are necessary, risky, and good for a small group of enthusiasts. Wow, talk about. I'm coming back to this article, guys. This is definitely going to be worth looking into. Anyway, that's about all the time I have for you today, guys. Thanks very much for joining me on this video. It's always a pleasure to go through the charts, discuss a bit of news, and we will be looking at some more news a bit further down the line. So again, thanks very much. It's good to see you all. Some shout outs quickly. Graham Stacker, that guy is crazy, and the guy's a financial expert. Oh, my wife is calling me right now. Okay, hang on. Graham Stacker, World Stalker, Winning Image Photography, Silver Stealer, Coinroll Craig, Coin Collector. Guys, thanks very much. And of course, you know what to do. Hit the like button, comment, subscribe. And I'll see you all on the next video.